Hello everyone, it's Amy. Welcome back for week 24 of Build Your Stash and Craft. This week we are going to make our own brads for our projects. And the one thing I found when I started in the paper crafting, which was not that long ago, was that brads are really expensive. You know, you get a little card with maybe 8 brads on it, and it's like $3 or $4. So, and even when you buy just the little, they're all the same kind of brads, they're just not cheap. So we got our 200 brads from Walmart, which 200 brads are going to last us a really long time. And we can make them to match. Did I just drop one? No. Okay. We can make them to match the project that we're actually working on. Or we can also just make some up ahead of time and just have them ready for us. So just a few ways to do this. Oh, I grabbed the correction pen instead of my heavy glue. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so I'm just going to start with a heavy glue that we got from the Dollar Tree. And I really do like this Fix-It-All adhesive. I find that it works really well like the E6000 does. And it's a super glue product. So, and we can just take our brad and put a little bit of our heavy glue on there and take one of the stones that we made a while back in the series and just kind of make sure you get it centered a little bit. And then I'm just going to let that one just sit upside down. And you could make some of the dragonflies that we made and stick it on the back. And just show you, I've got one here. Just take the dragonfly, ignore the paper clip, but take the dragonfly, and instead of putting it on a paper clip, you could just take the heavy glue, take your brad, and put it right on the back of your dragonfly, and then you can put that dragonfly anywhere on your paper. The great thing about brads is that you can, if you have a journal and you want to put something in the middle, all you have to do is poke a little tiny hole, and I always do poke a hole first. And then just take your brads, just stick it through there and bend it open, and voila, it's going to stick there. So here are a few that I had made, just as my samples. I don't know how well you can see that. But on these ones, I just took one of my paper punches. When I punched out the cards from the cardstock for my Punchinella, I just went ahead and kept those little circles. I painted it pink. And then I just used a regular ink pen and just put a little dot in the middle with some lines going out from the edges. And I thought that turned out really cute. Then we've got some with just plain old nail polish. And if you kind of drop the nail polish on it, it domes it up just a little bit. So, and then here, this one, I just took the glitter glue that we made the other day, and I just took the brad and dunked it in the glimmer glue and then stuck it in my styrofoam. Now it's good to have a piece of styrofoam to stick it in, and if you don't have styrofoam, just get a piece of cardboard and a nice piece of corrugated cardboard, the thicker stuff. Put a couple pieces together. Ooh, I was shaking that if it started to open. Put a couple pieces together and then poke some holes in it before you paint your brads or whatever, so that you can go ahead and stick them in the hole and push it down easier. But you just take your nail polish, and the one thing that you want to remember to do is to paint the edges, because you don't want that gold to show through. And then after you put on one coat, if you want a little bit of a dome, then you just go back in, just put your brush in the nail polish, let it be pretty heavy, and then just drip it on the top. And that will give you just a little bit of a domed top. Now, we don't have any tweezers yet, so I'm just going to take my scissors and just kind of grab a hold of that and and just push it right down into the styrofoam. So I usually like to make at least 2 whenever I make them. Then if I'm making a project and I decide, oh, that's the perfect one, I don't have to go make another one if I need to. And if I only need one, I have an extra. But I don't like to make a whole ton because I never know what color I'm going to need. So I don't want, 500 of these orange ones when I'm never possibly going to use them. So, which means you can always find a project for them. You just don't want too many of the same color. But I just like to have a few made up ahead of time. And that's as easy as doing the fingernail polish. Now for the little ones with the piece of paper on it, all I did was, these are just a bunch of punches. I threw them in this bag after I punched out that Punchinella. And then I put a little bit of pink paint on there, just like that. And so all I'm going to do is just take a regular black ink pen, and I'm just going to put a little circle in the middle, just a nice circle dot, and then just kind of make little, almost like little eyelashes, except all the way around. Just kind of a little curved line coming out. You could put a swirl on these. You could do all sorts of things with them. They're tiny, but it's easy to draw tiny. Well, no, it's not easy, but it's fun. So they're just like that. And then for those, all I did was I just took my regular fingernail polish. And these ones I left. I could have painted them pink, but I kind of liked the gold border around them. Excuse me. I just set that on top of there. And then just, not too much, go ahead and put a little bit of the clear nail polish over top of it. Make sure that you get the edges of it so that that will seal it. Whoops, just pushed it over. To seal it down when it's dry. And then after it's dry, you can also go put a drip on top. Now, the nail polish does kind of make it makes the black pen feather just a little bit. I know it's really hard to see, but and I kind of like that little bit of a feathered look. If you don't want that, then you could possibly try a pencil. I almost lost it. Let's stick that right down into the styrofoam there. And once they're dry, you want to make sure that they're nice and kind of level if you want to put the drop on top, because you don't want it all to like run to one side. So try and make sure you have them in there a little bit level. And we're going to do this blue because I think this blue is just a gorgeous color. Ooh, it's kind of a blue purple. Really like this color. And it is more purple than blue. It looks blue in the bottle. It's almost like it's got a two-tone. Like you look at it one way, it's kind of blue, and you look at it the other way, and it's kind of purple. But just the biggest thing is, remember, just put a little light coat, just like painting your nails, a light coat, and then you can always put another coat on it. It will dry faster if you put a light coat on it. And the only time you don't put a light coat is when if you want to try and get it to dome up a little bit, then you just drip a drop right in the middle of the nail polish. You just put a drop of it right in the middle. And, but you're going to have it already in your styrofoam when you do that. So because once you put that big drop on there, you don't want to take it off. And it doesn't dome it up a lot, but it does dome it up a little bit. Just going to always check your edges so that you don't have to go touch the edges up later. I do the edges the first time that I paint it, and then I don't worry about the edges after that. If I get a little on the edges, that's good, and if I don't, it really doesn't make much of a difference. So just put that right in there. And so that's how we use our nail polish. And to use our glitter glue, I'm going to make another purple one so that I have two of those. And all you're going to do is just take your brad, dip it in, and pull it back out. And then I just kind of like shake it a little bit, and it winds up with just a little bit of a dome on the top. And that's what it looks like because it's still the Mod Podge is wet, but this is what it dries like. So put that one right in there. So you can use nail polish, you can use glitter glue, you can glue on little pieces of paper, like little dots of paper, and use your punch to punch them out. Punch them out of different colors of paper or punch them out and paint them and put those on top. And then you can also use them to attach to your stone so that if you want this stone in the middle of the paper and you don't want it to fall off, you can attach really solidly with your really good heavy glue, let it dry, and you can put that anywhere on your project that you want to. You can put it on flowers, and you can put it on your dragonflies, you can cut out butterflies, you can cut out anything and just glue them to the top, and that way you can put them anywhere on your page but they're not glued down. So that's how you make your brads, and I'll be back in a minute and we'll use a few. Okay, before we use our brads, I thought that I would throw in some quick tag making. I like to put brads in tags, and I like to put like sometimes a little tag and a big tag together with a brad. And so I was going to just make some cards, so I thought I'd just show you how I do it. All right, what I did was I took a full-size sheet of paper, folded it in half, and cut it in half. Then I folded it in half again and cut it in half. Then I folded that in half and cut it in half and got this. Then I folded that in half and got this, and then I folded this in half and got these. So now I have all sorts of sizes of tags, and what I want to do is I want to make my top look cute. So like with my really big tag here, this is the top off of a shampoo bottle, but I'm just going to kind of line this up so it looks like it's, you can do measuring, you can fold them in half to make sure you know exactly where your center is, but I usually just eyeball it. And then I'm just going to cut along that line. And this will be my template. And a lot of times what I will probably do is I will put it on a piece of chipboard and trace it, and then that will be my template because it will be much sturdier. And then all I have to do now is figure out what I did with my hole punch. Oh, there it is. I put it back. You never can find anything when you put it back. Okay, now what I might want to do though, because this is one thing that I do like to have in the center, is the hole. So I'm going to fold that in half and then just punch a hole in it. Don't punch your holes too close to the top, because you don't want that to be super thin and not sturdy. But you don't want to punch them down too far either, or they look bad. But see, I think that's a cute tag all on its own. And I want another one that size, so I'm going to take this piece and fold it in half, because I want one with a point on it. I like most of my tags with the rounded tops. I don't know why, that's just what I prefer, but I do once in a while like to have one with the pointy top, so I'm going to just go ahead, fold this in half just right at the top. Go from the outside right up to the point. And there we go. Now we have a pointy top tag. Put a punch right in that one. So, and then sometimes what I like to do is, this is just one of my empty. Okay, now I'm going to kind of center this and go around like that. I don't like that, so I'm going to flip it over because this is just my template. Okay, I'm going to do it this way, I think. I'm going to take this one, which is just a small bit of a curve to it. And I just want to kind of make sure that it's about the same distance from the top on each side. Okay, and then I'm going to take one of these small ones and put it in the middle. Kind of just eyeball it a little bit. Put it right to the top. like that. And then I'm just going to cut this tag like this. Can't cut it from the other side. There we go. So that's what my tag looks like. Now, I'm going to keep it because I'll figure it out later. And that one I did punch a little bit close to the top. I'm going to try that again with one of the bigger tags. I think that one's just a little bit too little to try doing that with, but I'm just going to just kind of eyeball center and put this curve on it. And then take my little lid and do it like that. I think I'm going to like the looks of this one better. But I like it when they kind of have the 2 bumps or the 3 bumps. And there's lots of ways to do this. I'm just showing you, like, this is how I do it when I want tags and I want to have like those rounded edges. I'm no good at really drawing them or just cutting them freehand. And there's that one. Now, I don't like the looks of this right here, so before I use it as a template, I'm just going to round this a little bit more this way. And then go in and round this one a little bit. And if I mess it up, I can always just start over. So it's not a big deal. There we go. And put a little punch in that one. There we go. See, I think that they look cute. And then sometimes they even just do, because I'm terrible at judging things correctly. Well, that's not what I wanted to do, but I'm going to just make this one into a little pointy tag. Okay, I wanted to just do one with the corners cut off, like this, but I never can really get them even. But all you have to do is just measure yourself a line. There we go. That one looks okay. And I think this tag is a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to take a little off each side and put a punch in it. So there we go. We've got that shape and all in different sizes. We've got this one and this one and that one and that one, just with some bottle caps and a little bit of cutting. Now we have all these templates and we can cut out some tags. I'm going to cut out some tags and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back to show you one more way to decorate your brads, and that is by covering them with paper that matches your project. So it's very easy to do, and all you do is you just take your brad and put it on your paper. Now you want to put it on the back side of your paper. So I'm gonna say I want this little pink bit right here. So I'm gonna put that on there, hold it down, and then just, well, hold it down and draw a circle around it. It doesn't have to be totally perfect, but what you're going to do then is you've got your circle drawn, and you're going to cut just outside the edge of that circle because you're going to want a little bit of paper. So you're going to just leave a little border, probably about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch thick. Well, probably like 1/8 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch would be too big because it has to fold underneath your brad. So you're just going to cut around it like this, leaving that little bit of a border. And then what you're going to do is just go in and make little nips all the way around so that it will fold in nicely. And you want those nips fairly close to each other. Again, probably about 1/8 of an inch. And just go all the way around and do that. There we go, and that's where I started. Okay, so now that I've nipped all the way around, there's just little nip marks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I just have a little bit of my tacky glue right here. And tacky glue works really well for this because it grabs quickly. And that's kind of what you want. You want it to grab quickly. And then just put your little brad right in the middle. And then take some of your tacky glue. And you're just going to take your brad and you're going to put the tacky glue on the back side of that brad. Just down in the little groove. The brads have kind of like a little dent there. That's what makes them dome up. So on the bottom, they're dented in. And so you're going to put your tacky glue inside like that. And then you're just going to take, just take your edges and fold them in. And to start with, you can just kind of fold them in however. And then you're going to get them all folded in, and then you'll kind of adjust it. So push them up, push them in. And then you're going to use something like the edge of your scissors or one of your little stir sticks or something. I like to see it looks like that, which it doesn't look too bad, but it's got, you know, a few little spots there that are kind of sticking out. So I just kind of like to press around it a little bit, kind of roll it in my fingers. And that still won't be totally perfect until you push. You're going to just take those little flaps. I'm going to use just the end of my scissors, and I'm going to just take those flaps. Let me kind of try and get close here. Just take the little flaps and just push them down into that dent where you have the glue. And do that all the way around. Get them pushed right down in there because you want that glue to catch them. And you don't want bulk on the back of your brad, so that's also going to push them down in there so you won't have any bulk there. Okay, now I push that down in all the way around, and then you're just going to kind of roll it on your fingers again. And if you have any spot that you think is kind of sticking out too much, just give it a little push. You might have to, if you've got a little point, it might be that you didn't push your paper in on the other side good enough right there. And so there we go. Now we have a decorated brad that will match whatever paper we're using. If I was making a card or something out of this paper, then this brad would match. So I should have looked for here's another one that I made right before I came on. And I should have chosen a brighter paper. That would have work nicer. But so we have the different ways we can do it. We can attach our brads. I did make another dragonfly, and I put my brad on the back of there. So that brad's opened up actually because I put it on a project already, and then I had to take it off. So, and then we can cover them with paper. You can use nail polish. You can use your glitter glues. You can make little punches and glue those on top and draw on top of them. But you can do all sorts of things to make them. And then to use them, you can use them to hold tags on your projects, or to put tags together like this, which I always think is fun to do it that way. And you can use them to attach something to the center of a piece of paper. So, and then you've got that just attached right there with a brad. You can use them as flower centers. I love to use them as flower centers. They're so easy. Just put them right through the middle, fold them over on the back, and you know, you've got a flower center of your choosing. So you can put them anywheres on a page. I just have this page that I had made when we did our caulk. And this is where I had put the dragonfly earlier. I just put a hole in there, stuck him in there, fold it over on the back, and now he's stuck right there. And the nice thing is that you can kind of adjust them and move them however you want to. You might want him that way, you might want him that way, you know, so you can put him however you want. That's part of the reason that I love the brads on my papers, is because then I can kind of adjust them after I put them on there. you can, like this little tag here that I made, and attach the two tags together. Now you can put your cording up through the top, and then you've got a little tag. You could put a little tab on here that says pull, and then when you pull it sideways it says hi. So you can hide a little something under there, but with that little brad in there, you can make sure that you've got it loose enough that your tag or whatever you put on top will move. And you have a little hidden message under there. So those are all the different types of things you can do with your brads, and those are different types of ways that you can make your brads. And they're just really fun to do, and they work. You know, you decorate them pretty much the same way as the tacks, but they work so much differently. I couldn't put a tack on any of these projects. So those are our brads and all of the different things that you can make with them. And I will be back in just a minute to show you what we need for next week. Okay, I'm back, and what we're going to need for next week is we are going to need some aluminum foil. I got this at the Dollar Tree for $1. We are going to need a frame. I'm going to use an 8x10. If you'd like to get a small frame, you can do that too. They're all $1 at the dollar store. So you'll just need a frame of some sort that has glass in it, or plastic, it doesn't matter, but that has a covering. And you will need a set of permanent markers, colored. You want the colors, and these also came from the Dollar Tree for $1. You do want to make sure that you have a black and that you have some colors. So that's what we will need for next week: a frame and permanent markers and aluminum foil. So that's $3. We'll get to save another $2, and now we are $12 headed towards saving for our paper trimmer. And I did check at Walmart. They do have them for $19.99, Fiskars, which is a nice brand. So we only have to save $8 more, and we'll have enough to get our paper trimmer. So, but these are the brads that we made this week and all the different things that you can do with them. I love the little peekaboo brads. That's one of my favorite things to do with brads, is to make it so that they move. But, oh, and also you can make little people and put brads on their joints and then they'll move. I forgot about that. So, but thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.